Hi guys, welcome back to Sharp Books. Today is going to be my pretty brief Spookathon wrap up. So I only managed to read about 2.5 books during the Spookathon, but I'm okay with that. I wasn't feeling too great towards the beginning of last week. I just was kind of a bit of a allergy cold situation, and I was reading really slowly for myself, which is odd because typically I'm a really fast reader. So I was kind of just going with the flow, you know. I really liked most of the books that I did get to, so I'm okay with only getting a 2.5. And let me talk about the ones that I did get to. The first one that I got to was Jessica's Guide to Dating on the Dark Side. This would be the half book that I got to. So I have previously read this, so it was kind of a reread. I thought it'd be kind of fun for Halloween. I read this book originally probably about 5-6 years ago. I think it came out in 2011 and 2012. I didn't finish this, and I don't know if I want to call it a DNF because I have previously read it, but this time around it was a DNF. It's not that I hated the book. I just was not feeling it. I wasn't in the mood for it. It's definitely very, very YA, and it just wasn't thrilling me. I also, when I started reading it, remembered a lot more of the story than I thought I did, and so it wasn't really surprising me at all. And I don't know, I'm not gonna get rid of this book because I did really love it when I originally read it, but so yeah, I got halfway through it, I think, so I don't know, but yeah, I didn't quite finish this one. This was for the title with a spooky word next, so I did dark. The next book that I read was Compulsion by Martina Boone. I did finish this one, and I really, really enjoyed it. This is about a girl who moves to this small southern town called Watson's Landing, and it's been in her family for generations, but she never knew about it because her and her mom lived in San Francisco, and her mom never told her anything about her family. So her mom passes away and she goes to Watson Landing to live with her kind of reclusive aunt. And it's very kind of atmospheric, it's very spooky, it's very, if you like southern plantation kind of ghost tales, definitely check out the series. It's a YA series. I'd say it's a YA paranormal. It's kind of one of those mixture books, but I'd say it's paranormal. So our main character gets to Watson Landing and she kind of quickly figures out that the house, this big mansion that's kind of crumbling, isn't all that it seems, and the town isn't all that it seems. She already knows, the main character's name is Barry, and Barry knows that she has these kind of abilities. Her ability is that she can find lost things. So when something is lost, she gets this kind of tugging feeling, and she has to go find it. So she knows she has that, but she isn't sure how that ties into everything else, ties into her family in this town. So in this town, there's this feud that's been going on between the three kind of founding families of this town for years and years and years. And that's kind of the base of the story. There's a boy that's named, what's his name, 8? Yeah, it's a nickname, but from the Beaufort family, which is one of the other feuding families with the Watsons, that's Barry's family. I really recommend this book if you want something kind of spooky, very just southern gothic kind of, and very, I don't know how to describe it. It's definitely a different book. But I'm really glad I got to this. I have the second book and I do plan on reading it soon. It also had just really interesting elements for a paranormal because it wasn't your typical, you know, vampire, witch, wizard. It was definitely a different take on paranormal, and I really appreciated that. Third and last book I got to in the week of Spookathon was The Raven by Sylvain Reynard. This was very good. I have had this book for a little while and I hadn't gotten to it, so I'm glad I did. This is Sylvain Reynard's second series. So his first series was the Gabriel's Inferno series. I would definitely say this is still very adult. I'd say it's an adult paranormal romance. I think that's a pretty good description of it. This book follows a girl named Raven, and when you meet her, she has a disability. So her disability is basically that she just has to walk with a cane, that she was in an accident when she was younger and doesn't have full capabilities with her foot. So you meet her, and at the beginning of the book, something terrible is about to happen to her. She's in this alley trying to save this man because he's about to be beaten up, and she tries to help him, and in the process gets herself into some deep water. And suddenly this person appears, and it is a man, and he kind of stops them, and it's very mysterious at first. You don't know much about William. That's the man who ends up saving her. He has a lot of secrets, and he is, I don't want to tell you exactly what he is because it's kind of interesting to go into it. I will say he's supernatural. This is very interesting. So it has a lot of like, it takes place in Italy because the main character Raven works at the art gallery, and it has a lot to do with art. So if you're into art or Italy or like culture type things, I think you'll really like this. I will say parts of it, I listened to part of this on audio and I'm glad I did because there's a lot of Italian words. It has to do with like Botticelli and a lot of the other like artists of that time, and a lot of the words are a little bit difficult to pronounce for someone who does not speak Italian. So I recommend the audiobook if you are interested in this because I read about half and half and I really think it helped me get into the story. It is a romance, so obviously Raven kind of figures out there's more to this William fellow than meets the eye. And the story goes from there. There were parts of it I thought William was very like territorial and a little bit too territorial, but I still really enjoyed it, and I think overall it was a good romance. I will be continuing the series. Okay guys, those are all of the books that I read for the Spookathon. Overall, I had a really good reading week and I enjoyed reading some creepier books. Let me know what you guys read for the Spookathon, and I'll see you guys next time.